As above, so below. We're talking about Mars energy to each and every one of you guys. If you don't know, I am Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRS. Those are African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys, first of all, I want to say salutations to my madrina, to my padrino, and to my oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajay. For all of those that practice the black arts, the ATRs that are in the church, salutations to you as well. To any of you all that left the church but got church influence, I am here to teach universal laws. And what universal laws mean is that they're applicable to every man and woman, boy or girl on this planet, because we believe in energy, frequency, and vibration. I want to say also to each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for your continual support of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated and the foundation by which we build upon. To each and every one of my melanated people, what's up, Demetrius? My Gemini in here first. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, I want to preface this before I get into it. I'm a Sagittarius, my moon in Aries, and rising sign in Pisces. I want to say also hello to Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one. What's up, my baby Scorpio? She said she stopping through. This is gonna be a doozy. So please replay this. First of all, I'm gonna preface this. There will be some profanity in this message. There will be some vulgarity in this message. And but I assure you that it is based and laced in truth. And yes, as a Sagittarius, by me telling the truth, I'm gonna offend some people. But it's okay. Because I'm saying people don't have a problem offending melanated people. What's up, Mama Susan? What's up, Shanice in the house? Now, I want to talk about something today on Mars. And I want y'all to understand how important the ATRs are to melanated people. Thank you for hitting that like button on your way in. And let me explain something. Shanice is a Virgo. My mama. Whoop it on. This is important. I want you to understand how it has been affecting your participation in the African traditions. And my subject matter is, I don't care if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I don't care if you are a natural chosen vessel. I don't care if you called. I don't care if you even believe in the divine. We are melanated people, and we have do girls pee out of their butts. So do your daddy when I knock his rear end loose. Oh, so it is what it is. Now, I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you. I have experience. I've been doing the magic ever since I was a child. I'm 52 years of age. I have experienced a lot in these ATRs. So let me explain. I'm 52 years old. I wanted to have this subject discussion. White superiority penetrating the ATRs. To understand white supremacy and white superiority, you have to understand is the idea that white people are superior. That white men in particular are superior to every life form on this earth. I'm going to say it again. It's the idea. It is taught. It has not been originated from Mother Earth or Father Sky. It is an idea that has been taught, that has been reinforced, and they have built systems on this very idea. And it has penetrated African traditional religions. Let me explain. The idea is a thought, which means a mindset. So if an idea is a thought and you believe or you have these ideas about white supremacy, and let me break that down. The mere fact that I still have melanated women still trying to go by the blueprint of the white woman, which is the idea of beauty of a white man. I want to talk to you today. As long as you have that idea that your nose is too big, your skin is too dark, you're still operating of the same principle that you believe that somebody is superior who genetically is inferior. Therefore, you cannot operate fully in the ATRS because you have this idea, you have this mindset that white is right. I don't need you to admit anything in this teaching. I need you to understand why we have to cast down these imaginations, these ideas, these mindsets that hinder us from embracing Mother Earth, Father Sky. This is very essential. I don't have to degrade anybody. I'm stating facts. We are in the age of Aquarius. And we, as melanated people, are trying to return to our African roots. But we have to acknowledge that there is a certain idea that is still lingering in your head that hinders you from embracing all that you are when it comes to being a melanated individual. It sounds good, but these same people are still warring with those ideas. Let me explain it like this. You cannot be a part of a system as a melanated person that every day that you wake up and you pay your bills, that this system is still pushing the very idea that white is right. We're watching the president of these United States, and we all know consciously that if there had been a black man or a black woman, he would not have been the president of these United States. The things that are going on in this society is an idea that you're supposed to, as a melanated person, not have anything of value. And that a bum, a person uneducated, living on the street as a white Caucasian, has more of a right to wealth than you do. When you're doing conjure, I hope that you understand that you're constantly coming against this idea, this thought, this mindset. And it is more prevalent in these United States and Great Britain. So I'm going to say these things to you. If somebody broke in your house and stole your stuff, you will not go around and saying that that person got it going on, because they are now benefiting from what they stolen from you. You wouldn't be impressed with King Charles because you know those jewels were stolen. You wouldn't be impressed with the United States of America because that gold that they have, they stole that. When they go around going to other countries and stealing their minerals, when they go around trying to stop their government of that country from operating in its own interests, if somebody came into your life, I want you to know how significant this is. If somebody came into your life and stole your workings, you wouldn't call them powerful. You wouldn't celebrate what they celebrate. I don't need to do only one thing to my life. Make sure that my mind is embracing my melanin. And that my mind is not still upholding white supremacy, black people. I want to talk about something when black Americans or black people are in ATRS and they're encountering other spiritualists. Do you understand that every time you go to Africa as a black American person, that their idea of who you are, that they don't see you like them? You see them as black people. They don't see you as black people. They see you as other. And so when you sit down on that mat, when you sit down receiving spiritual working, you have somebody that has white supremacy conditionings. Because the same way, if not worse, that white people look at black people, other Africans look at you the same way. I'm going to say this again. There are so many people in the ATRs that are holding up white supremacy. And what makes them dangerous is they're not white. So let me explain this to all you. You can fuck white, you can suck white. But if you ain't white, the whole idea of white supremacy and white superiority is the pureness of the blood. So to all of my Cuban, Brazilian, if you can't fuck a white man or white woman and get a white baby, you're not white. If you are mixed descent and you're Hispanic and you lack melanin in the sense of how I have it, but you melanated, you are still upholding white supremacy and white views. So when you hear me say the word white supremacy, not that I believe that, and neither do I operate like that in my ATRs. But there are people that are tatas and mumos and tata orientes and babas. They're Cuban people practicing palo. When I look at what was going on in humanity, I didn't realize that Cuban people, even though they're Latin descent, they didn't see the people of Guatemala or these other countries as them. That's white supremacy idea. Because African science teaches us we're all one and we're all connected. So where does this divide come from? Where does this divisiveness come from? The idea that a parasite is superior, and you actually invest in those ideas, and those ideas hinder you from actually properly manifesting your energy, your ache. You should be just as confident as any other sovereign soul on this planet. But because you have somebody trying to perpetuate an idea, a mindset, a stream of thoughts that have been biologically disproved, factually disproved, evidence of how melanated people have excelled even under oppression. So, Apostle Ely, what are you saying? How is white supremacy penetrating? Every one of those melanated people that say they're not black, I'm finna go somewhere. And I know some of them gonna throw at me and all that. I want you to understand, every time you say you're not black, but you have melanin, so it gives you access to hoodoo, it gives you access to voodoo, it gives you access to our ATRS. But you yourself, certain man, are adjacent to whiteness. And I'm telling melanated people, and especially black Americans, I want you to reason, and I want you to think about how black women that are practicing the ATR, but her mindset is still white supremacy. She still thinks that she needs to meet the criteria of that white man and that white woman. I don't care if you call on African deities because you're melanated, but your mindset and how you see yourself and how you see other black people and how you see other black people connected in these ATRs is a direct indication that you're still cultivating the idea. This is, I know when people, melanated people, have been set free, and you know how I know? When you're no longer asking for equality. Why would you want to be equal? Why would you want to be less than in your ruler, in your conjure, in your lifestyle? When you are divine, who wants to be basic? Who wants to be mediocre? Who wants to fuck like they ain't got no rhythm in their soul? If it wasn't for your ideas and your mindsets, you wouldn't want to lay down with a white man or a white woman. Because genetically they smell like dogs. And if you want some good old dog pussy or some good old dog dick, that's what you're having sex with. That's why they carry so many diseases. It's not my opinion. When my Latin brothers, my Brazilian or Cuban or any of you that have a right to the ATRs because of your melanin. But the fact that remains, you are just as toxic against black people. And therefore, your ancestry is going to be toxic towards black people. This is why I believe black people are ignorant. I believe that black people keep forgetting that our magic is still tied to other cultures that do not identify themselves as black. And if somebody is not identifying themselves as black, they're not going to act black, and they're not going to treat black as its value. And they're going to treat you, certain man. They'll take your money just like white people. This is what y'all get confused about white people. Melanated people, brown people, because we're dark matter. I'm talking to my brown people. They'll lie to you like they lie to us. They'll use you like they use. white people, the only idea, and I'm trying to explain, they are trying to survive. They're trying to keep their race, because they made up this shit, the idea, alive and well. So you could never fit into white supremacy because you have to be white. And no matter how much denial, your blood makes you melanated. If you have melanin in your blood, and so therefore when they're reading for you, you wonder why there's so much commotion? When a melanated man like me rise up, because they understand the excellency of melanin. The only time they want to be black or melanated is when they have access to the ATRs. And notice that they do just like white people. Watch all these other races. How the fuck you gonna keep out the originators of the ATRs? The hardest people to grow in the ATRs are black people. Ebasa. The hardest people to get their spiritual tools are black people. But they are the originators of ATRs. Unlike you, I'm not gonna kiss nobody's ass to be in an E-lay. I'm gonna do my part, but I ain't gonna kiss nobody's ass. Because I know who I am. And I hope one day you wake up and find out who you are and why you getting treated so shitty. And a black man is despised because of that same idea of white supremacy. Because you think the man is the one. So you don't want to see black men rise up in the ATRs. And just like you treat your women, you make them insignificant. But in ATRs, we've never made the black woman insignificant because she's the God of this world. She's a manifester that bring God and goddesses down to this world. So if you study any history, go as far back as you can, you will never see the black woman at the bottom. You will never see the black man at the bottom. I want to speak some facts. The only reason you connect with your melanin is to try to gain power in the ATRs. But you immediately start shutting out black people in the same ATRs. Where did you get those ideas from? Where did you get the mindsets from? If you don't see how white supremacy is impacting our ATRs, and why we are listening at other people that have less melanin. Let me explain something about melanin. Melanin is consciousness. Melanin is dark matter. Melanin is enlightenment. And we are the very people that I don't care, go to YouTube, TikTok, they choose who they let through. If they don't see you as a threat, just like a virus doesn't see, if that virus or bacteria in your body doesn't see you as a threat, it doesn't attack. But the moment that you coming in there trying to make that immune system strong, that mind strong, they're going to fight you. They're going to hinder you. And black people, and I keep saying this shit, I watch melanated people, watch them take our own people down for shit. that they do every day and never get caught, never suffer just never suffer the same penalty and punitive damage that melanated people do. Y'all, it's something wrong with the mind. What's up, Ryan? It's something wrong with the way you think. And they constituted these things. But I want you to understand that the ATRS has already been penetrated. And the reason why you have such a hard time, let me explain y'all. There are some melanated people that are going to have an easier time, like me, because I don't have a certain need. But even in my Haitian community, I don't have a certain need because I was born with that. I was taught from a child how to operate in that. So by the time I got to them, I was already schooled, I was already operating, I was already functioning. If it wasn't for my Haitian voodoo and my spirits and my loas and my conjure, my obia, then I would have never made it through Ocha. I would have never made it this far through Paulo. Minister Mario, son of Ochosi. These are facts, people. And they tried to do me and him the same way they did many of you. But I did not have a need for their ego. I did not have a need for their knowledge. I didn't have a need for their understanding because I already was operating on a superior level. And this is why I come to you and I try to break down the fact. I can't make you understand anything if you don't want to be enlightened. But I know that these facts can be verified. I know the things that I'm saying is not my opinion. These are facts. And why does facts matter in the age of Aquarius? You can't build on falsity. If you melanated, you reason this is important to you because you're trying to do it the way non-melanated people are trying to do conjure. You're trying to do conjure the way people that don't acknowledge their blackness, their melanin, until it's time to participate in these ATRs. You don't want to learn from that. You want to learn from somebody that love who they are. Love their energy, their frequency and vibration. They love their 666. Their 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. They understand their temple. And they're not going to go against nature like non-melanated people. I'm 52 years old. Look at my temple. If you see the average non-melanated person or a melanated person that their bloodline has been diluted, the more sun you harness, the younger you go, the more you're able to fight. Your immune system, everything about you is blessed. Every essence in the universe is on the inside of you. You keep trying to run to their systems that was not set up for you. There is a system that black people can prosper. There's a health system that black people can prosper. The way that melanin works will bring you success. The way that melanin works will bring you healing and a well-being. The magic of the energy, even our thoughts, the inventions in the age of Aquarius. It is so important, sir and ma'am, that you cast this idea, that you pull down these ideas about melanin, that you can embrace your brothers and sisters, your real brothers and sisters that don't have a problem with melanin in somebody else. They're not going to support you like that. We have to support each other. This election showed you right to your face how these people feel. It's white supremacy keeps showing up. It will never be for you, because you're the direct enemy of what the idea of white supremacy is. And every time you go out on this thing called life and you be great, it's another fact that is laid at that white man's foot, that you're not greater, you're not smarter, you can't fuck better than a black man. Huh? You don't have a better stroke than a black man. You can't create the things that this world needs like a black man. You can't, white woman, you cannot stand on the same stage with a melanated woman, because it's different. Both of these have dominant genes. If a white man or a white woman want a white child, they gotta fuck each other. That black melanated man or that melanated woman, they can replicate themselves over and over through every other entity. And their programming is going to be more dominant. I don't know what else to tell melanated people but present the facts. Not only do your other melanated brothers and sisters have the mindset of white supremacy, you have those same ideas. This is why we don't honor each other like we're supposed to. This is why we don't support each other like we're supposed to. This is why we don't protect each other like we're supposed to, because that is innate in us to do so. So who gave you the programming? Because it did not come from nature. It did not come from the universe. So who taught you that as long as you fighting melanated people, that's a good thing? But if you ever use that conjure, that root work, that energy, that melanated energy that they have told you is demonic, all these are ideas from white supremacy to separate you from your own energy, to separate you from your own greatness. How long are you gonna play fool? Why do you think white people steal so much? Because they have to make you, that white man, more desirable than a black man. I keep trying to say, all this is rooted in the idea. Black men and black women have been ruling this earth millions of years. Why you think they're stealing your history? Why you think they're stealing your land? Even here in America, we ain't got to talk about other countries. How white people came and ran away black people, killed black people, ate black people for their land and for their melanin. But you still think you're doing ATRS. No, that's mixed with the ideas that come from white supremacy. patriarchy. I watch black women do it. As long as you're fighting the body, as long as you're fighting the body and we are the body, you upholding white supremacy. As long as you are dragging one another down, you're upholding white supremacy. And black women, the way that you all treat other pigmentation of blackness, I'm gonna ask you this real question. When you see a black woman or a black man tell and cuss and let a white person, male or female, have it, why do you feel good? You ain't even a part of the situation. Why what happened in Alabama made black people feel so good? Because we all connected. See, our real magic, it ain't got to be happening to me to be happening to me. You don't have to speak against me to speak against me. You ain't got to hurt me to hurt me. Because when you did it to one of my least ones, you did that unto me. I ain't got to be operating like other people operate. You still can't get a Brazilian to acknowledge they black. You can't even still get a Cuban to acknowledge that they black. But when it comes down to initiation, they blacker than black. When they dealing with the Nkisi, with that diluted melanin, that's why they have to do that. But I don't have to practice like that because my melanin is not diluted. I have a stronger connection with root work, conjure, mysticism, because I'm not diluted. We hear these people say these things as though being black is disgusting until it comes to magic. You're going to always remember, you're going to always be good enough to be fucked on, fuck with. People know your greatness. Less melanated people know your greatness. I don't want your recipes because that's for diluted melanin. That's for the mindset that you think that white people are superior. I've never been raised like that. I can deal with anybody. I'm a people person. But I know the truth. And I was fortunate to know that truth. But I'm realizing that a lot of you black people, it's not about Apostle Ely. It's not about the chief. It's about you understanding what you're dealing with. Black people to this day are thinking that white people are ignorant. White people know way more about you. That's why they do what they do. If that man really didn't know you was a good woman, would he really treat you like that? You think you got to explain to him what you bring to the table? You think you got to explain? No, the person that's using you, that's why they're using you. Because they know you got it. And they need you to give it to them. What they do, they study us until they think they have perfected what we do, and then they take credit for it. It's going Latino people, Cuban people, everybody's biting off that blueprint. And they try to be more powerful than the original power. Yeah, I said it. And it's factual. And it's proven through history. I'm not speaking anything. The problem is, you let, as a black man or woman, you let how people treat you to determine who you are. Somebody can treat you in a fucked up way. It don't divide. You can put a pile of shit on a diamond. It don't make it not a diamond because it got a pile of shit on it. The treatment of people towards you is not indicative of what God has made you to be. They treat you like shit, hoping that if I mistreat you, mishandle you, you'll think it's a problem with you. And you'll begin to internalize my behavior and saying, I must be not. I'm going to say that again. You let the treatment and how other people treat you and talk about you determine who you are. I will. It's a head game. What else do I? It's a head game. There's history where white people were competing with black African people, and they couldn't stand up. What white people do, they go back to the drawing board. Everything they're doing to the white male body is a direct result of how they perceive the black man's body. What they're doing to the white female body is the direct implication of how they understand the black female body. We're gods in this earth. And every time you turn around, oh, it's some stupid ass black person talking about, I'm only human. I'm only human. No, that my white man and that white woman is a mutation. A failed experiment that went wrong and went rogue. And while we were sleeping, the sleeping giants, they were stealing shit, killing shit, until they multiply. Why do you think Trump bringing those African white people? Let me tell y'all some white people. You will never dominate this earth. And I don't care how many times you say United States is the greatest country in the world, it don't make it true. Those are not the facts. How can you be so great when you got to live off other nations and their minerals and their resources? You got all these highest gas prices, and they done invented cars over there that don't need gas to operate. Black people done created a whole telephone system that they don't need none of this shit. See, you have to cut on people. We use frequency and vibration. See, the technology of black people, we use sound. We use certain herbs and certain minerals for our melanated body to be healed, cleansed of any sickness or disease. But y'all black ass people, y'all love to go over there fooling with them white people and what they imagine. If they don't do one spell, they got a whole system set up for them to succeed. How many content creators you hear bitching about that on TikTok? I'm talking about black ones. And the white people are raking in way more money than the black people. If all of them doing the same thing and they all got content, then it should be an equal field. But even in social media, it ain't fair. They're allowed to steal your ideas and go and build a following. You ain't heard that before? You ain't heard that before? They don't go in and create a whole nother God to spite our divine mother. I'm going to say it again. They don't want to create a whole nother God named Jesus to make him more powerful than all of the African deities. Those are facts about somebody that got an inferiority complex. Because they got to always outdo the real person that they actually competing against. What's the real role model of white people? Black civilization. Long as they keep you docile, long as they keep you running away from your energy, your frequency, and your vibration, long as they keep you from supporting real melanated people that gonna give you the facts involved. And see, I'm coming more with just facts. I'm coming with power. I'm coming with energy and frequency. And I'm coming flawed like a motherfucker. I don't have to be perfect to be God's grand design. I have to be perfected. But this idea, and where you get that? From that white ass Caucasian mountain. Black people, y'all don't understand. You worship caucasity more than you think. You play into their hands more than you think. And you think it's something wrong with what I'm saying, or anybody that is on this wavelength. You think it's something wrong with us. And it's actually something wrong with you, the way you think. You don't even question where your thoughts come from. Even when we're doing conjure and doing spell work, people sending thoughts, you don't even know enough about your mind to know when somebody has injected. Let me show you how stupid we is. Anytime they can make movies about us without calling it us, and we don't recognize they making movies and Marvel movies about our gods and goddesses, and you look at the history where that came from, and we go and support that. Everybody shot. We go and support that. Jean Grey and the X-Men, Obatala. Obatala. But anything, we love seeing white people lifted up. But we can't stand to see black people lifted up. We love to see a white brother or sister with some rhythm. When the kids in the ghetto got more rhythm than a little bit. But you don't exalt that. Black people exalt bullshit. These are not my opinions. These are facts. How we had a whole civilization, millions and millions and millions and millions, and they still marveling at the greatness of that civilization. So what makes you think we need them? They've always needed us. They don't elevate that high. So therefore, they can't get those ideas. We can. And once we bring those ideas down out of the ether, then they can steal it. They're every nation that they sit around and wait on black people to birth and to hatch. And they're gonna steal it. And they're gonna beat you to the public. So why the black family that whoever ancestor that made the peanut butter, why they family ain't getting royalties? You know we the one came up with all this liquor. Why they ain't getting no royalty? You walking around here and let white people steal your shit and build and build and build and build, and you around here praising them. What the fuck wrong with you? What about all the acreage that they stole those land? Why them damn black people ain't getting their royalties? How you gonna take them somebody's land? Let me explain something to y'all dumbass people. How you can take a land? How you gonna create laws to take somebody's land and this ain't your land? I'm gonna say that again. How you gonna create laws to take somebody's land and you are not the government of this land? If black people migrated all over this earth, you find our artifacts everywhere. You find our DNA everywhere. How the fuck you gonna charge me for my land? You're not the owner. Why are you? Cause y'all non-melanated people love to rape, steal, and kill. And black people, you want to be bad with every other melanated person, but you will not stand up to our parasites. These are facts. And you want to practice the ATRS. How? When you're constantly upholding white supremacy. And then you have our other melanated brothers and sisters that have a right to the ATRs. They just as white in their operations. They're just parasitic in the operation. How you gonna be more connected than I am? How you gonna deal with Obatala more than I can? And this is what black people go wrong. You so fucking interested in how other people look at you that you are being guided from the inside. You are already connected from the inside. There's no higher connection to spirituality than melanin. It doesn't exist. I'm gonna say this again. It does not exist. There's no other energy form, no other form of life. I don't care where you go in the universe, it's dark matter. It's melanin. And we are comprised of that melanin. But your mind too weak. We dominated this earth for millions and millions of years. And you want to ask why we are not operating at greatness? Because we lack history. We lack understanding. It's all a mind fucking game. If a Jim Crow, all that was a mind game. Welfare system, a mind game. Putting drugs in our community, a mind game. It's always a mental. It was always a mental game. The more laws they make, the more you follow them laws with your dumb ass. You won't follow the universal law, God's divine law, Mother Nature laws. But you want to be such an upstanding citizen of this fucking United States. Even in the Constitution, it's against you. Even in the Bill of Rights, it's against you. How you gonna do a spell avenge you of your adversary when you around here fucking forgiving everybody? I forgive you for fucking over 5 generations. I forgive you, Mr. White Man, for spitting in my food. I forgive you for stealing. I ain't forgiving. Fuck. We are the most ignorant ass people to be some of the most brilliant ass people. How you gonna use a program that they done gave you and you still perpetuating that idea? Why I need to be so forgiving how you done fucked over my people? But you want to stand up for your people. That's why I seen a clip where they go for me. Every system of corporation will fuck us over. Anybody, even on TikTok, anybody racist, they don't get no penalty. But you push these back. I could never have got this across on TikTok. Because everybody got a problem with that black man and that black woman. Because they know what we can do if we get our shit together. I've never seen so many people that claim you practicing the ATRS. How can you honestly say that you a woman of God of the earth or the Father's sky? How can you honestly say you're a conjure man or a root worker or a mystic? And you know this shit ain't even lining up. Lady in Minnesota raised $500,000 calling a black autistic child a nigga. You know what black people gonna do? My baby Scorpio, we gonna say that ain't right. When the fuck was it ever right? When you find out you constantly teaching against melanated people, every system that's set up, let me tell y'all something about these other people. Asian people, everybody get to benefit off the civil, what is it? Our People Civil Rights Act. Everybody but us. Our ancestors fought for it, everybody that benefited. They do this shit in our face. And nobody's alarmed. Like when the what is that man name? He said to be in America is to be constantly outraged. The fact that you are not outraged is something wrong with you. How comfortable you are feeling to watch somebody else watch the TV that you bought? You're out here with a 9 to 5 struggling like a motherfucker. And if you had your royalties from your, and this is the thing, just like they're doing Social Security, it's stuff we paid into. That's our money, right? What's different with everything else? They trying to say now Social Security is a handout. The same thing they say about recreation. No, recreation is what you owe me, bitch. Do you not know the United States of America don't pay everybody but black people recreation? Do you realize that you sitting over here? I want you to really understand what I'm going to say some shit today. So you can miss me with all that you for ATRS. How can you, sir and mom, know that what's the country that we keep sending all these billions of dollars to that's fighting against Russia? I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Ukraine. Thank you so much. I want you to understand something. I don't want to just say it. I want to show how fucked up you are. That they're taking your tax dollars, giving it to Ukraine, and a bitch won't give you $1,500 of your own money. Imagine you going to your bank and your bank won't give you your money. That's not free money. That's American money. That's people that done pay taxes in this fuck ass system, and you can send them billions of dollars. You can provide them with war, but you won't pay for me to get my goddamn passport back to my country. I don't care what administration do doing. And you're not moved. They're taking your money. That's why they think they can take your Social Security. Look how fucking dumb you is. You don't beg for what's yours. When it comes to recreation and that 40 acres is a mule, I don't care if I take a shit on all 40 acres. It's mine. I don't care if I don't build a fucking thing on that 40 acres and a mule. It's mine. I don't want my shit. You stupid. You doing root work, conjure work. We are owed some goddamn money and land. I want my royalty. You gonna be cursed until you pay me my shit. While you out here fighting, trying to get a meal and some fucking eggs, you got farmland that's rightfully owed to you. These people been stealing, and they get to walk in your face and tell you how great they is. And you don't feel no sense to whoop their ass. Give me my shit. Why do I need to go through congressional hearing about my money? I want you to make that make sense. White people make you go through a song and dance about your money. Because they used to stealing. I'm going to say it again. They used to stealing. They doing what their ancestors did. You cannot legally come over in another man's country and land and make laws. But the United States did. And I'm going to tell you another thing. This is why we have dissension among the brethren. Because we done did some fucked up shit to each other. We done sided up with this white man. That's why we in the condition we in on today. Because over here in the Americas, the Haitian army helped the white people, the Anglo-Saxons, conquer the Native Americans, which were black people. The Moors are a magical system. Every time we try to bring them to civilization, they turn around and fuck us. And we turn around and fuck our people for them. The same Moors we brag about also help energetically defeat Native Americans over here in the Americas. Oh, it's our people always doing some fucked up shit. And the reason why they got to uphold white supremacy, because they don't want the real truth to come out, that we help them do this shit to y'all. So I say to my black Americans, if your ancestors come from another country, that means you got land in another country, right? Your DNA travels all the way back to Africa. So now you got to turn around. You ask that white man for your shit. You need to turn around and ask your African, why you think African people so nasty to black people? Because you owe some shit too. My bloodline date back. Where my royalties? Where my gold? Where my goats? I don't care if I don't never eat goat meat. I can sacrifice something. Where is that melanated people? If it all be true, and I'm spitting them a fact, where is your royalty from Africa? Because we know you didn't send no boat over here to rescue you. We have 500 years of getting our ass whooped. You've been existing for millions. You got colleges, civilization, boats, armies, and you ain't think now time to come over here and help. One of us, we needed Harriet Tubman to create an underground ground railroad to rescue slaves to get us from one hemisphere to the next hemisphere. When you motherfucker came over here, and we got more Africans than we got white people. We could have ambushed this bitch. But you never did. Someone asked a question. So if you wonder why you having so many issues and going to Ghana and all these other people in Nigeria, because them fuckers, our people, use our magic against us to hold us over here, while they went through our wealth because we were not present. Wasn't too proud to beg us to come back with our money. I know I heard to me. They ain't offered us a goddamn thing. I mean, you can't talk about the white man shitting on us when you shitting on us. And you shitting on us with diarrhea. This is another reason why they don't, and I'm trying to tell black melanated people, why would they black Africans help you get back your conjure? Because when you get back your conjure, your ancestors are going to right the wrong. And there's a whole lot of asses that going to be held accountable. Why you think they also assist white people in demonizing black people over here in Americas? Because they can afford us to wake up. Because we're going to be saying, where my shit? Where my shit? Where my shit? While you out here showing us all on TikTok how beautiful Africa is, run me them coins. Run me them coins. That's why I liked the part of Wakanda. He went about it the wrong way, but he was well within his rights. How the fuck you gonna be living like this and you see our people down here suffering and you ain't sending no? You don't feel nothing? You don't feel nothing in you? You are such a powerful African witch doctor. You don't feel nothing in your melanin for me? You don't feel nothing in your melanin for my mother, my sister that look like you? We ain't got to have the same language, but we have the same melanin. So my brothers and sisters, if you gonna fuck with me, and you gonna deal with me, we got to start with the facts. We got to start by the facts. Not only the white supremacy of white people, the white supremacy of black people. So do you realize why they fight me? They don't fight me because I speak lies. They don't fight me because I'm not being truthful. I know what the fuck y'all did. Because I'm extraterrestrial. I can see above all that shit. All them blinders you got on black people, those spells don't work on me. And do I believe that black people gonna listen to me? Some will. That's why I go through so much. That's why I get challenged. And let me tell y'all something, black people, to be honest and understand it, you don't know what you're missing because you never had it. I know what y'all missing. That's why I get on here and tell you certain things about what you should have. And they get pissed off. But they're not gonna whoop my ass. And it's always one of our skin folks that come in with bullshit, perpetuating white supremacy that take people like me down. You ain't got to be a parasite to have parasitic ways. He getting too strong. He getting too powerful. Who says? I told y'all about the Eggum stick, $1,500. You know how much money they would charge you? And it wouldn't give you the half the power? I offer candles that I personally concentrate. And you still struggle in your mind. How you gonna ever return back to the goddess state? How you ever gonna return back to the God state if you don't get the Ache? And they're not gonna give it to you. Why would they? They not been a reason why you've been down so long. Your ignorance of you think a thief that I'm stole from you and benefit what they stole from you for 100 years, 200 years, and they gonna just turn it over and hand it to you? Like make that. Then why we preach about David had to recover all? This is why your culture is so important. This is why your ancestry is so important. Because, baby, let me explain it to you. I don't care how you got fucked for. To get in the family, you in the family. And you don't have to beg for energy, Ache, that you were birthed with. If you don't, I don't never get invited to the family reunion on neither side. That don't make me no less than family, goddammit. What's wrong with y'all black people? I don't need my auntie approval. I don't need my cousin approval. I don't need my uncle approval. What happened on Wakanda? He did like, I got the birthright. I'm not begging for shit I was born with. I'm not looking for your validation or your approval. I'm a necromancer by birth. I'm a conjurer by birth. What I need your fucking approval for? And when I say bow down bitches, I mean just that. Because might makes right. You won't have to beg for no fucking raise if you get your conjure right. You sit here with wrestling with ideas, like make it make sense. If you can admit, sir and ma'am, that I'm telling the truth, if you can admit that, sir and ma'am, that these are not my opinion, these are straight facts, then what's wrong? Explain to me why you so slowful. Because of them ideas. They've been calling us and coining us as a minority. But there are less white people on this planet, and it's becoming less and less white people. So how do a small amount of people keep the powerful in check? Mind games. Giving you something to take your attention off of them. You can never be my problem. You ain't created one law. You ain't established one spell against me. They did. If I can convince black people to the facts, why you think I'm so gung-ho about my 13th circle? I know what I'm going to be able to do. But we drag our fucking feet. You think other things are more important than your spirituality? And I told you over and over and over, your energy is the most valuable thing you have. And I've been showing you from one live to the next live to the next live why your energy is so important. Why your ancestry is so important. If you continue to feed your ancestors, they're going to get stronger and stronger. You're going to be able to stand more your ground than you have ever done in your life. You're going to live the reality that you want to live. Not where these fuckheads want you to live. I don't have to live your reality. I got my own reality. All I need is my people. I got some people, I say I needed $2,000. Some people just snap. You so slowful. And you too broke and too poor to miss out on opportunities. But I'm not going to do all this on my own. I didn't create this problem. I'm here to solve it. Sir, man, you can't afford to keep playing stupid. And if they kill you today or tomorrow, I'm going to resurrect your ass and put you to work. I got Bo for instance for his brother. Courtroom incident. I gotta do I'm gonna do a working for Rodney Hinton, and yes, I can get his son involved, but his son is not strong enough to help me do what I need to do for his dad. But I admire him so much. Vengeance is mine, say the Lord. Isn't that what they quote us? That vengeance belongs to God. How many agree with that? Vengeance belongs to God. And he said, I'll repay. We all done heard that. So let me take it a little further. The vengeance that belongs to God is the same God that's on the inside of you. The God that's in you will avenge you of your adversaries. We don't have to wait on their system to set us free. We can set our own asses free. We have tools. We got the brothers and sisters that are powerful and conjure. I got some upcoming conjurers. I got some people that invest in their spirituality. And that's what I'm here to do. I want you to look at my skin. I was telling Sister Tree and Mother Susan, because of what the nutrients that I'm getting and feeding myself. I'm 52 years old. Look at my skin. Look at my, no makeup, no Botox, nature, the fountain of youth, the strength to prevail. Sir and ma'am, I'm being a cloud of witness. But I can't make you get up and get off your ass and do what you need to do. I can't help make you build this tribe that God has blessed us with. I can't make you hit that like button. I can't make you hear this and affirm. You know how many times you tell me I'm telling the truth? Then what are we doing? What are we doing with this power? What are we doing with this knowledge? What are we doing with this wisdom? Understanding. And why should we walk in fear? I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason why we should be, as a black people, in fear. And I'm going to explain something to my African brothers. I'm going to teach you something about Black American power. Our hoodoo, our voodoo, our Santeria over here in these States. Let me explain something to you. I'm going to get close. Don't get it fucked up. We have had 500 years of oppression, which means our energy, like the Titans, we're stronger because we have 500 years of resistance that we had to push through. I'm going to explain this shit to you. You were in Africa. You wasn't dealing with what we were dealing with. So you didn't have that opposition. And you are mighty people. But these people, these black Americans here in the United States, we push way more weight every single day. Every single challenge. Because there's a system that fights us daily. And so our energy, as many of us that overcome, we are smarter, we are more powerful. And now that I have extraterrestrial energy, I can pull energy from anywhere on earth. You cannot hold access to our history. You cannot no longer help the colonizer keep us suppressed. Because if there's one of me, that means there's another. And that's why we carry the Ache, that you're surprised out of all you have done to keep us abased. We still rise. And now that some of these people are going to be waking in their mind, They're not going to be going to Nigeria and Ghana to get their tools. They're going to get them right here from the United States of America. From people that have been tried and tested. See, that shit you doing over there in Africa is good for Africa. But bring that your magic over here in this type of oppression and see how far your magic gets. See how far your Obeah gets. See, the Obeah workers over here, the conjurers over here, the necromancers over here, these United States, we deal with pressure constantly. And our energy is constantly channeling. See, you don't have that. You don't have that resistance. And we all know that in the gym, resistance means muscle. Because the more you have resistance, the stronger you get. Somebody's always challenging our mind. Somebody's always challenging our identity. And we're doing all of this with half truths, half knowledge, half support. What makes you think you're gonna fuck with anybody who do it over here? Explain. Our health has been under constant attack. You have clean water over there. You have all the fruits and vegetables your little heart can muster. But we operating off of fucked up food. And we still some badass conjurers. We operating with a health system that is constantly trying to unalive us. You don't have no pressures. You don't have a judicial system that's constantly working against you. So I hope melanated people know why it's important that Apostle Ely is supported. Because I'm going to tell these people about their ass. And I'm going to wake up as many. I might not be able to wake up everybody, but I'm going to be ringing the bell. I didn't come here to play. I came here as a warrior. And as a warrior in the United States of America. That's why my root work is what it is. That's why my voodoo is what it is. Stop melanated people downplaying the power of black people in these Americas. Because them African countries, ain't none of them have to deal with the shit we deal with. And if my conjure can move over here, if my spell work can move over here in this type of judicial system, up under this kind of medical provision, get the fuck out of here. Get all the way fuck out of here. And since you went to Nigeria, how much better it is. Because you still got to come back here in America and deal with this bullshit. And their energy ain't never had to deal with it. But my energy and other conjurers over here in America, we have to deal with that. So our High John got a special ounce of energy in our chain called it spirit. Stop downplaying the people over here in the United States of America. Because we are a force to be reckoned with. Because you could never deal with the oppressions that we deal with over here and come out smelling like gold. That's why you can talk that bullshit. That's why you can talk. And I don't owe you no explanation because I got DNA. I don't have to be invited to the cookout. I'm already on the family tree. And I don't, just like I don't fuck with family over here, I don't fuck you with you either. You ignorant. And you upholding white supremacy. And you got a reason to do it. Because you were a part of hurting your own people. All right, guys, I love you. I gotta get over here and get the rest of my retirement paperwork done. I hope this really help you. I know I wouldn't have made it this far on TikTok, but it need to be said. I hope that you find it in your mind and your heart to really start supporting and being gung ho about this platform or any platform that's teaching facts. I don't want to just know about I'm a royal priestess. I want to see how it work, what it look like. And we got I'm getting my Ogun situation together. Monique already bought a candle for Ogun. I'm gonna give you opportunity to work with my Ogun, and I'm gonna have different package that if you want to candle, if you want to put an offering out to Ogun, it was. I hope that, as I said, I know my labor ain't in vain, but I hope that black women really wake up, stop pushing the ideas of your colonizer, and not stop saying you're a goddess or you're a majestic being, and start living that shit. I'm gonna do a working with gay and bisexual people. I'm tired of y'all walking around here with this colonizer thinking our sexuality has never been questioned. Let me tell you something, and I'm closing. White men are the only people in the United States of America that can walk around there and walk around here and do the most disgusting shit sexually, and their manhood is never challenged, neither their sexuality questioned. Because a white man can transition into Caitlyn Jenner and still receive all the benefits. And black people sit there and look at bullshit like that, but you demonize your son and your daughter because of Christianity. If you ain't fucking stupid, study our history. Men been sucking dick since eons. Women been licking pussy. The women are the first. If you want to know about a homosexual act, women were hermaphrodites. Women been eating each other pussy for millions and millions of years, and we ain't never questioned it until you got over here with this white asshole that's running her. And my spiritual dad told me, he said, a white man will fuck a snake if it'll stand still long enough. And this is the standard that you trying to live by. Y'all some dumbass people. You came to this earth as an energy and a spirit. What you do in this body is you, in between you and your ancestors. And not that fuck ass God they be trying to get you to keep listening to. And I'm going to say this, since I'm already on a roll. You would consider it blasphemy for me to talk about their religion, but you don't consider it blasphemy for them to demonize our religion. You got a fucking problem. If you consider what I'm saying blasphemy for their God and their religion, but you don't see the blasphemy for your religion and your ancestors, that's white supremacy, sir. That's white supremacy, ma'am. They can openly and effortlessly call your ancestors and your African tradition demonic, and you don't feel like that's blasphemy. But if I say something about their God and their history, and they're all facts, all of a sudden I fall in the category blasphemy. we got work to do, children. Okay, Apollo. Okay, I got you. I love y'all. I told you I'm gonna take but if you, I'm gonna get prepared for some of you guys wanted the class. You can still get the class. Um, Conjure class. Um, all you got to do is purchase your 175 donation, and I will yeah, I have those classes emailed to you pronto. All right. I'll see y'all later.